Oh, he's still just standing there.
Yeah, yeah. Lead her through the mannequins. Oh my god! Do it again. Do it again.
Now I'm here.
Do it again. She knows now. She knows now. She looked back and she's like, wait a minute. That looked like a Dwight.
Oui, bro, je suis là. Hein.
What? 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 That wasn't what? What? I wasn't even going. What?
He'll go back to that gen now, I expect.
Yeah. No, actually, he went for ring.
Off the record didn't save me. No. The fucking snowman. He doesn't.
My. まさかそれでかぐれ話あったらどうすんの？
うずさん、ぼんやりと見てます。ヴァンパイアサバイバーズをやりつつ。
ちいい。
来い。
welcome once again to Dead by Daylight's anniversary. 7 years.
To expand our reach, we also have expanded where we are connecting with our players. Because the players at the center of everything that we do, we want to be in more places. Here's your feedback on all of the things. So we're now in the Xbox forum, and even live streams like you're seeing right now, we want to more regular. Look forward to all that coming. Now I think I can't forget the most important platform of them all. Actually, today we are launching our TikTok channel as well. We found that there's actually a really thriving DBD community on TikTok, and we want to be there talking to you, creating fun content for you. So we're really happy to be here. But we should move on with the show itself. You know, Matt, that over over 120 original stuff you're not going to want to miss. After that, we've got gameplay updates. After that, we've got quality of life updates. And then a new segment has come to the show. This is actually something that's really cool. We're going to take you beyond the core game of DBD to show you how we're expanding other places and other ways that you might not be expecting. Very exciting. Speaking of exciting, we have these cosmetics to reveal as well that I think are going to surprise people. I'm so excited about those. And we're going to wrap it out with news about the in-game 7th anniversary event, which is better than ever. Actually, it's going to be a really exciting one. And of course, as Matt mentioned, I'm going to stick around for whatever he's hiding because I actually know what it is, and it's... No, I can't tell you as much as I would like to. So, thank you so much for joining us. Sit back, relax, it's a great show. How do you get on? Enjoy.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the roadmap segment of this 7th year anniversary stream for Dead by Daylight. I'm Superman, head of production, and I'm Justin Brown, product director. I'm really glad to be here celebrating another amazing year of Dead by Daylight. Today's segment will have a look at our upcoming figures for year 8, as well as our chapter plans and the archives and some of the dates that we have planned for the year. Before going any further, I do want to take this moment to give a big shout out to the amazing team that's been working on the game for the past year. They put amazing effort and dedication into that and really allow us to get the game to today. It's been absolutely amazing and a pleasure to work with these guys. Over the past year, we put out 2 particularly interesting chapters I feel amongst but first, Forging Fog has allowed us to tap into new themes that we've never really had a chance to before. Maybe medieval we hadn't explored. So our first foray into that and how that ties into the lore themes and all is very interesting to navigate. And the second one, for the first time, we have released the first as a sequel to a licensed chapter in Resident Evil Project W. Such a very cool addition to the game, I think, bringing in a lot of characters that people love and really fun to play with itself.
Absolutely. Wesker was so well done, one of my favorite killers to play, personally. And it was right around the time that he released that we also did the Prestige update, making it easier than ever for you to unlock all of your perks with all your characters, what the after the Prestige update is, blood, all items. We followed that up with boss, survivor boss specifically, custom matches, which is a useful strategy killer in the custom match. We did 2 important quality of life updates to the archive. One being the ability to select the role, and the second in-game post notifications to track progress in the match. And then last year, we were going to make our events bigger and better, and we feel like we really delivered that with last year's Halloween. Probably the biggest, best event we've done in Dead by Daylight to date. Now, switching gears, we're going to give you guys a first peek at the upcoming content you can expect us to release throughout this next year. First and foremost, of course, there are going to be, again, 4 new chapters that include killers. But in a strange twist, what you will notice on the graphic today is that there are also 2 survivor-only chapters being released in this next year.
A lot to unpack, changing the pace a little bit, but it's not straying too far away from what we've been used to over the past. As is tradition, we will be actually taking a peek at the next upcoming chapter, an original one, any segment that follows very shortly after this one. Again, we're exploring another theme we really haven't had the chance to in the past, but it's pretty exciting, both in terms of characters and the theme of the next 2 pillars that follow after that are going to be licensed, and I would say licensed for the really iconic additions to the game. I'm excited to be able to talk a little bit more about that. Unfortunately, a little too early today to be able to do that. We're starting to play with them a little bit internally and seeing how the characters are going to shape up. And it's pretty exciting. The games, so more to come later. In addition to that, moving over to the chapters, we will also have stories added to the game throughout the year. Moving away from the chapters archive, we'll now be dived into the 4 pillars that compose the roadmap for the year, and as players will see, they're a continuity from what we've been doing over the last years.
Of course, and though the pillars might look the same, the projects we work on under each pillar tend to be the first pillar, some of these already covered, events that recently are following each pillar. We plan on taking out forward with the pillar events and making it even bigger, even better than we have been in the past, including last year's Halloween. One happening again this year. But in addition to those 4 pillar events, we're also going to look at adding a few more smaller events spread forward.
For those of you who have been with us for a long time, you might already know the smell of barbecues in the game. I know you love barbecue. We all do. For those of you who don't, well, you'll get to see it very shortly. But really the goal is to give you more to play with at all times in the game and something to work towards. Second pillar is trust and security, which is more important to us than ever compared by the way. This pillar goes with that. The things that we're putting in place are more features, but also security. This one, one of those, we're really excited to see that we're about to launch based on our ability to control the program, which will allow us to work with people in the wild to report threats about the game, about the servers, etc. And really facilitate us exposing those potential weaknesses that we knew or did not know about in the game. So very, very excited to launch this.
Yes, super excited for when we're able to share a little bit more information. Next up, we're also going to be looking at revamping our sort of streaming strategy. We want to make sure that we're able to communicate with you, our players, more often, and to discuss sort of updates and the progress and a lot of the features and initiatives we're going to be announcing throughout the game today. We plan on doing that by doing live streams more frequently to celebrate new chapters, releases, large achievements, generally just doing content to our community. One of those topics is very likely to be our next pillar, which is life balance, a topic that's, very dear to us, something I spend a lot of time thinking about and worrying about, and something that I won't go too deep into today, because we will be talking about our life balance plans in a little bit, right?
Yeah, we'll have Nat and Jeff coming up in a future segment and talk about what type of projects we have planned for the coming months on that specifically. Very excited, very important for us, and we know how dear to the community is also his, a pretty hot topic in general, I would say. Last but not least, quality of life is a staple pillar on which we have
小声で配信です。バンサバやりながらライブバランスってのが興味深いですね。
キーさん、自分は YouTube で見てます。
ああ、なるほど。オープンレックだとね、あれですよ。日本語字幕があるから分かりやすいです。
He's talked about the improvements we made to the progression and made it faster to level up. Or we made it even faster by allowing you to just spend a ton of blood points almost instantaneously and just get it done and get it through with with upgrading your characters and leveling up.
キーさん、YouTube にも字幕ついてます。
あ、そうなんだ。
And finally, the map repeat prevention feature.
あ、じゃあ YouTube にしようかな。
Again, another addition. There's a lot of maps into the game. Some of you might have felt like even if you're playing for just an hour, you're often tapping like 2 or 3 times into the same map. And Pamela, we're going to be coming up any future as much as possible.
ついてる？
We're not going to go too much in detail today, or at least in this.
英語字幕ですよね。日本語字幕ついてますよ。オープンレック。
We're going to be coming up any future panel and talk to you about some of the projects we have planned and even show you a few features that we have
T さん、日本語字幕ついてますよ。
あ、本当に？
Excellent. There's a lot we look forward to sharing with you in this stream today, and we thank you again for an amazing 7 years celebrating Dead by Daylight with us, and we look forward to many more. Next up is our friend Dave Richard.
あ、こっちか。
First look at our next upcoming Dead by Daylight.
あ、本当だ。こっちにしよう。
Let's take a look at the trailer.
おお。 どうしようかな。これいいか。音楽切ります。 End transmission.
T さん、ロボット。
うん。ターミネーターかな。
Traditionally, I would be taking some time with you today to go over the characters and but also show you new faces that you might not have seen before, amazing people that are working hard to make these chapters possible. Let's take a look. For the anniversary, we've prepared original chapter. On a de la chance sur Dead by Daylight d'avoir
End transmission.
I think that any kind of subject and genre
エイリアンとか出てくるんですかね。
we wanted to explore in that movie. First of all, it's clearly an alien world. You are far from home, that you are lost in space. The second one is that we wanted to make sure that the human technology looked weak, lo-fi, so that you never feel safe within these constructions that they've got on the setting. And the last thing we've added to the mix are traces of a long-lost alien civilization.
Donc, comme vous pouvez imaginer, toute l'équipe a été très excitée de travailler sur un chapitre pareil de science-fiction. Le gros challenge et en même temps l'intéressant défi qu'on a eu, ça a été d'amener toute cette consistance, cette relation entre les personnages. Tout a été pensé visuellement pour que le joueur se sente en danger constant. Et la tension est accentuée par la présence de ce tueur qui est une intelligence artificielle qui se nourrit de l'environnement et qui est intéressé par récupérer plusieurs ressources pour se construire un corps parfait pour devenir l'arme ultime.
SF なんだ。
Une jungle hostile et sauvage d'un autre monde. Tout est designé dans cette jungle pour pouvoir tuer.
One aspect I really enjoyed was that it was a jungle, so we could make it super dense, super threatening in the organic design and the design of the plants. Everything kind of looks like it could kill you. We try to have like very creepy looking texture, very organic texture you would find in nature. We would try to bring it into the designs of the plants and the vegetation in general. The main building, the idea was to show there was a safe space for the characters. As you can see, it's on stilts. It's elevated compared to the map. The idea was to show that the map is very dangerous. This place should be safe for you. But the interesting idea we have is that once you get into the structure, it's actually more dangerous or looks more threatening to you.
ロボット。あ、キラーか。ドレッジみたいな感じなんですかね。
But while it was scouting, it got in touch with a piece of alien technology and was enlightened. And now it wants to overthrow and kill all humans. So this killer is an interesting take on the cyber. We're used to see organic character using pieces of machinery to become more powerful. But the Singularity is doing it in reverse. It is a simple piece of technology using a cloning technology to get organic material and flesh to become more powerful.
Well, the inspiration of the killer design was, we always wanted to do a sci-fi killer, so you're going to be able to go around the map and set up these biopods, spread your consciousness inside of these biopods, and then if you're able to catch a survivor inside of your reticle, you'll be able to effect them here next to them, and then you'll be able to attack them and keep the chase going. One of the important things for survivors is teamwork, trusting each other, working together. So with this killer, one of its abilities in the slipstream is that once a survivor is tagged or infected, you can spread that influence to other survivors. And it does so automatically, so survivors will be less likely to work together, and there'll be more discord between them.
La présence humaine est visible dans la map. On voit une compagnie qui a essayé de coloniser, de trouver sa place dans ce monde. Mais plusieurs signes dans l'environnement que les joueurs découvriront montrent que tout s'est pas très bien passé. Et le dernier survivant de cette expédition loupée, c'est Gabriel.
Our survivor, Gabriel Soma, is quite resourceful. He's able to troubleshoot some pesky issues on the survivor side, and he's able to adapt very quickly to be able to bring the killer away from the other survivors. He's able to protect the others.
Even though we are in a setting that's
ニコラス・ケイジは出てこないんだな。
in the future, we wanted to make sure that Gabriel was a grounded character that any of us could recognize ourselves in.
I'm super excited for players to try this map. I think it's great that sci-fi is finally in DBD. I think it's going to be fun for them to experience the creepiness and the threatening vibe of this map, and I think they're going to really enjoy it.
C'est un sacré défi. J'espère que les joueurs apprécieront cette relation qui est entre tous nos assets, l'environnement, de personnages, à cause de l'histoire qu'on a.
あ、そうなんですね。でもなんかアナウンスはあるんじゃないですか、ニコラス・ケイジね。案外ニコラス・ケイジ知らない人が結構いてびっくりした。
As always, you'll be able to play with the content of this chapter during the PTD right after this.
5月24日。4日後か。
The chapter becomes available on June 13th. Before I leave, I want to take some time and thank all of you, veterans and newcomers alike, to play Dead by Daylight and to be part of this incredible journey with us. I want to wish you a happy 7th anniversary. May the year be filled with fun and surprises. Next up, we have Natalie and Jeff to talk about some gameplay improvement coming this year.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie, Team Lead Community Manager for Dead by Daylight, and I'm joined here today with a very
ねえ、いっぱいあるんだけど、山ほどあるんだけど、案外知らない人多いんですよね。絶対見てると思うんだけど。ケイジ・ニコラス。
gameplay. So we have some quick updates for you today. Jeff, let us know what they are.
Well, as you know, the game design team has many features and updates planned for this year. However, we'll be focusing on 3 specific topics today. We're going to be talking about continued gameplay updates, map balance, and finally, plans to address face camping in Dead by Daylight.
I'm excited to dive into these quick updates, so without further ado, let's jump right in. I know last year we launched one of the biggest perk updates in Dead by Daylight ever, and it significantly shifted the Dead by Daylight perk meta as a whole. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. That's happened in the past. What we're going to be focusing on a little bit more is the process that we're looking to take consistently moving forward as a community and design team when it comes to these gameplay updates. So, Jeff, what more can you share with us on that?
Well, as you said, last year we launched our biggest perk update ever in Dead by Daylight, and it had a significant impact on the perk meta. We saw a lot of perks fall out of the meta and new perks rise to the top. This was completely natural. Like, the players were the ones that drove this change after the changes went live, and it was super interesting to see, by the way. But moving forward, or for this year, we're not planning to have a major shakeup like we did last year. Instead, we revisited our live design process to allow us to make changes at a faster rate. Instead, we'll be focusing on smaller, more focused, balanced updates with each update this year.
That makes a lot of sense, and of course, it's one of the reasons why we listen so closely to player feedback.
しっかり耳を傾けてんのかな。
But it does sound like we're going to be able to integrate
アメリカと日本で
some
ね
of that
ちょっと
feedback that we're bringing
違いますから
back to your
ね。
team, and we're discussing when it comes to these kinds of updates a little bit faster than before. Am I right?
Absolutely, and I think the best example for that was the previous PTV that we had. We had a proposed list of changes that went onto the PTV. The community gave a lot of feedback, and your team reported that to us. We made some small adjustments. Well, we made quite a few adjustments to it, and it went live, and I think that everyone was pretty happy with the result. So our intention with this change is really to give us the flexibility to analyze, adjust, and observe the outcome more frequently. That way, similar to what happened with the previous PTV, if a change doesn't go as we envisioned, we can readjust it before it goes live, and even after it goes live, right? Like, we're still listening for feedback, and we'll make further adjustments.
フィードバックに耳を傾けてるとねいいんですけど。
I think that's something really important to highlight. But of course, we know that this doesn't only apply to things like perks and add-ons.
とはいえね、日本のプレイヤーさんがちょっと悲観的に言うツイッターでとかでね言う人が多いっていうのがちょっと問題かなと。
What more do you have to say on that, Joe?
First, I mean, I can already hear the players rejoicing from really far away because this has been a hot topic for a very long time in Dead by Daylight. And I think you'll agree, and the players probably agree too, that most maps in Dead by Daylight are seen as either killer-sided or survivor-sided. And our goal with integrating into the live design process is really to make it a more even playing field for both sides. We started this process with the Raccoon City Police Department. Then we followed suit with the Area of Crows map, and finally, the most recent ones were Blood Lodge and Gas Heaven. And what's great about these changes is that they can be as small as moving a small location for totems or generators to reviewing pallet safety so we can make a pallet more safe or less safe, to bigger things like changing the map layout or changing building layouts.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I know our team's already coming
一応ねゲームしながらもちゃんと見てますよ。
how we can integrate some of that feedback, but looking toward the future a little bit more, what kind of maps are we going to be targeting next? I think I know what it might be.
We need a drum roll over here.
I know.
We really do. Because this one is a big one, and I'm sure that the longtime players will be ecstatic to hear that the next 2 maps that we're targeting are some of the most notorious maps in Dead by Daylight. I'm talking about 2 Coldwind farm maps, Fractured Cowshed and Rancid Abattoir. But what's important to remember is integrating this into the live design process means that we'll be listening to feedback and making further adjustments as well.
マップ自体というよりもな発電機の位置を変えてくれるやつでいいんだけど。
Of course, I believe we're going to be having this update for Cold Wind going live sometime before the end of the summer, so make sure to keep your eyes and your ears peeled for more information. You know I had to sneak in a corny pun. You know it.
これでウィンドファーム変わるんですね。
In terms of our quick updates, we have one more feature that we want to discuss. And that is something to do.
キャンプ。
So if you're new to Dead by Daylight, if you've never heard of this
特に
term
ヒルビリ
before, face camping is basically a term used to describe a killer that's standing directly in front of a hooked survivor. They're not moving, they're waiting for that hooked survivor to die on hook, and this is usually happening either for a large portion of the match, if not the entirety of the match. We know that face camping can be very, very unfun for the person on the hook, but of course also the other people in the match. So we're looking to test out a new feature that's going to help combat.
いや、ますますキラーきつくなるのかな。キラーがきつくなるというよりも、ますますナースが有利になるんじゃないかな。あ、死んだ。
It's really difficult for me to play against someone who's face camping because I just want to help and I can't. So I'm stuck, doing generators instead, which is fine, but I'd rather help my teammates. But yes, so the way the system works is that the hook survivor has a meter on their screen, and it fills up based on the killer's distance to the hook survivor. So the closer the killer is, the faster it fills up. The further they are, the slower it fills up until it doesn't fill up at all because they're not within a certain radius. And once it's full, the hook survivor can unhook themselves, even in the second stage. And what's great about this is that they get the full benefits of being unhooked. So it's as though a teammate had unhooked them, or they unhook themselves with the perks such as Deliverance. So for those of you who don't know, that means they'll get the haste status effect and the endurance status effect, so they're pretty safe at that stage.
That is so awesome here. I know folks at home are probably already thinking about a bunch of things on this topic, so I'm going to start by bringing probably one of the questions we're going to get. And that's, what happens if the killer is forced to stay by the hook? So there's like multiple survivors swarming the hook, they're forced to stay in that radius. Is there any situation in which this feature might slow down or turn off or be otherwise affected?
That's a great question. And yes, there are some scenarios where it either slows down or turns off. So for the first one that you mentioned, where survivors are swarming the hook, as soon as there is one other survivor within that same radius, the meter will build up a lot more slowly. So the killer doesn't have to worry about survivors swarming the hook and being penalized for it. As for the second option that we talked about, which was turning it off, once the exit gates are powered, the feature is completely turned off. So you can defend your only objective, again, without having to worry about the survivor unhooking themselves.
That makes a lot of sense. Of course, we're going to be so eager to hear what you folks are going to say on this matter. And for the most part, it really does sound like this feature is targeting those most egregious cases of face camping, where it's really used kind of in a spot that's way too early in the game, or in a spot that's really not going to make sure that the match is as fun as possible. So with that said, though, when can folks expect to get their hands on this feature? When can they let us know what their thoughts are?
The burning question. Everyone wants to know. So our plan, which is subject to change, of course, is to have it sometime later this year on a PTB. And as with all PTBs, we'll be listening to feedback and making further adjustments before it goes live. And even once it goes live, we'll still be listening and gathering feedback to make further adjustments, just to make sure that, it's as good as it can be.
Of course, yeah. And again, TLDR, we are eager to hear those thoughts, so let us have them on the official channels as much as possible. We are always keeping an eye out. But I think that's it. That's a wrap for our quick gameplay updates segment. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining me, Jeff, again. It was a lot of fun. If you're interested in learning more about this, please head on over to deadbydaylight.com where there's going to be an in-depth article looking at all three of these topics in a little more detail. Outside of that, of course, more gameplay updates are coming this year, so stay tuned to our official channels to hear more news on that. Finally, our next segment is going to feature Raph and Pamela. They're going to be talking a little bit more about some highly anticipated quality of life improvements that you can expect to see in the game soon. So you want to stick around. You do not want to miss this.
All right then.
Hi everyone, glad to be here to celebrate Dead by Daylight's 7th anniversary. My name is Raphael, producer on DBD, and today I'm pleased to be with Pam as well.
Hi Raph. Hi everyone. My name is Pamela. I'm the lead UI designer on Dead by Daylight as well. And we're so happy to be here today because we want to share with you some of the great quality of life improvements that the team is working really hard for year 8.
So before we
まあね、いろいろ改良あっても結局やりますからね、関係ないと思う。実際予定日。
You know it is sometimes priorities and timelines can shift, but we're more dev-focused live stream than ever planned for this year. We'll make sure to keep you in the loop. All right, let's get to it. So Pam, to start, I think you have something that the community has been asking a lot.
Yes. So we all know Dead by Daylight has been live for 7 years now, and if you have been playing the game since the start, there's no way your inventory isn't full of perks, outfits, and charms, and add-ons and items. Because we did release a lot of content back in the time. But last year, we did introduce the feature called Loadout Presets, which means that you were able to manage this process a little bit easier. But right now, we're so happy to say that we are building on this feature even more, because we are adding finally the Loadout search bar to help you find quickly whatever you're looking for. So on the Loadout search, you're just gonna need to type in either the name of the thing you're looking for, or just a word within the description, and it will find for you instantly.
So let's say I'm looking for the perks affecting
これ日本語でできるのかな?
pin generator, and voila, all the related perks will be displayed.
Exactly.
Oh, I can see how it's going to be a huge help for our players.
Yes, and not just that. We're happy to say that this feature is also going to be available in all
残像の
platforms,
権限とかね、難
and
し
you
い
won't
漢字
have
ど
to
うするん
wait
だろ
for
う。
it longer either to test it, because this feature is going to be available today on the PTB update that we're going to be releasing right after this broadcast.
Amazing. We really hope you're going to enjoy.
Yes. So, as we're talking about improvements in the player experience, Raph, I know you have something really interesting for us today.
Yeah, we got a lot of requests on this feature. All DBD players know that sometimes when a survivor disconnects, well, it put the rest of the group at huge disadvantage. And it's safe to say that at this point, it's not going to be an ideal experience. So that's why with our upcoming feature, once a survivor will disconnect, an AI bot will take over so that the game can continue. And who knows, maybe this bot will be even better than the player who just disconnected. So, joking aside, we really hope this will alleviate frustration and help matches to run more.
まあないよりマシですよね。
Yes, and also to make sure that no one is left in the dark, what we're gonna do is, as soon as a bot spawns in, every survivor and every killer on the game, they're gonna be made aware through the UI, as well as a sound cue. Whenever they see there is a survivor disconnect bot.
ペナルティはどうなるんでしょうね。それが
And
知り
right
たい。
now, we plan to release the feature this summer.
Yeah.
So for the next feature, if you're playing online game, I'm pretty sure you're gonna recognize what Pam is about to mention.
Yes, this is something that we are super excited because the team is really working hard in trying to come up with an entirely new type of cosmetics, so you'll be able to showcase your personality on Dead by Daylight even more. So what we're talking about here is the player cards. And what means for us on Dead by Daylight is, alongside your name, you're probably going to be able to assign a background or a banner and an icon.
いいじゃないで
And
す
you
か。
will be able to earn those cosmetics during the fall. This is where we're planning. But the idea is they're going to start as
ただね、
standard
この
rewards
盛りだく
every
さんに
dawn.
すると
And
ね、
we're still going to be working on
盛りだくさんにするとバグがいっぱい出るっていうのがね。
So we're not stopping there.
まあでもね、お金になるならいいじゃないですか。ビヘイビアが稼げるなら。
One last thing, Raph, I know you have something that ties everything that we're talking about here related to improvements.
Yeah, as we said today, we're constantly working on making DBD a safer, but also a more secure environment for all players. And the report system is an integral part of that. Right now, how it works, at the end of the game, if a player wants to report people because of bad conduct, hacking, or other reason, they can. But let's be honest, there is not much visibility on that process. But it's important to say that our team has always been committed to taking action on this report. Soon, thanks to our upcoming feature, the player report feedback, we will let you know when an action has been taken against a player you reported.
And also to highlight even more, not only every report that every player does is really appreciated, but we are really taking serious and having those actions done on our side.
Yeah, and as for now, we plan to release the feature over the summer.
機能するかどうか
And
とも
that's
か
it
く
for
ね。
today. Thanks for another amazing year. Thank you so much, Pam, for
や
being
ってる
with us
姿勢はいい
today.
ですよね。
Thank you, Raph.
Next up, an exciting look at what lies ahead for the world of Dead by Daylight. Enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
Ciao.
CM かな。読します。
キーさん、モバイルのメメントってかっこいいんですよね。
あ、そうなんだ。モバイルなんてほとんどやったことないから1回ぐらい。
キーさん、本家にも入れて。
Hi, I'm Stephen Mulroney, Executive Vice President of Digital at Behavior Interactive. As someone who's been on Dead by Daylight since the very beginning, it's been amazing to see the ways both the game and its community have grown. We've added a lot to DBD over the past 7 years, with a mobile game, comic books, a board game, Hooked on You, and even the Dead by Daylight movie on the way. We've become a franchise with something for everyone. Today, I'm happy to announce that we're gearing up to get even bigger, expanding Dead by Daylight beyond our core game.
今度もね、ボードゲームが出るのね、欲しいんだけど、やる相手がいないっていうね、リアルだと。
One with expertise in multiplayer games, and another with expertise in interactive narratives. So with that, let's hear a little bit more about what they've been up to.
We're obviously all horror fans here at Supermassive, and massive fans of Dead by Daylight. Now we're thrilled to be collaborating with Behavior on a brand new single-player interactive story game set in the terrifying universe of Dead by Daylight.
ああ、そうですね。ただ、ボードゲームのね、リアルな良さっていうのがありますからね。まあね、でもそれができないとね、オンラインでできる、やるしかないからな。
And feature the story of a new cast of characters who players will follow for an unprecedented experience beyond the fog.
This is a whole new way for horror fans to experience Dead by Daylight, and we couldn't be more excited to share it with the world. So stay tuned, we'll have more to reveal later this year.
It's been almost a year since Midwinter joined the Behavior family to work on a brand new project.
うん、そういうのしかないですね。まあまあ、近場に何人かはいるけど、別に買ってもいいんだよな、あんなの。コマとかね、かっこいい。レースとか。
These will be present in both the gameplay itself and in the stories of the characters who were tempted to enter a strange new corner of the entity's realms. Our vision is to create a multiplayer PvE experience where instead of facing off against each other, up to 4 players can team up, enter another one of the entity's realms, and take on a host of deadly enemies that occupy it.
This project is still in very early stages. We are really excited about what we're doing and can't wait to share more as we go.
Stay tuned for more.
7 years in, and the world of Dead by Daylight has never felt bigger. I'm so excited that players will have 2 new ways to explore the entity's realm. There's still a lot of work to do before we'll have more to share, but just follow Dead by Daylight and we'll make sure you're the first to know.
Hi everyone, I'm Xavier Etchepart, Art Director.
Hi everyone, I'm Rose Lee, Senior Product Manager.
We're super happy to be back with you today to talk about all the new exciting content coming to the Dead by Daylight store over the next year. Rose, it's been 7 years already.
Long journey.
Oh, what a long journey, what a beautiful journey, but 7 years old, wow. Dozens of collections, thousands of cosmetics brought to life with passion and dedication by our art departments. And
でもそう考えたらスキンとかはねかっこいいですよね。僕はほとんど買ってないけど。
Some would say too many.
Yes, it's a lot of outfits. And
スキンはね多すぎるぐらいがいいと思う。
And today I think we should share more.
いっぱいお金を儲けていただきたい。
We're ready to share.
Yeah. And also we have a special guest joining us later to discuss about this unique collection we work on together. So yeah, maybe we should start.
Okay, so Dead by Daylight is a game, as you all know, that's known for its great soundtrack, and we're always on the lookout for opportunities to explore like the music scene in particular in our cosmetics. And we have 2 collections coming in the next year that, well, although they've just come together and we don't really have any dates yet, but we really couldn't resist sharing. So here goes. First off, Dead by Daylight is partnering with heavy metal legends Iron Maiden.
Yes.
Baby metal. Heavy metal だろ。
Iconic Eddie, who, well, let's be honest, he fits
Eddie's badass.
right into our game, right? All of the cosmetics in this collection will be like portraying his many album cover appearances, which are super cool. And secondly, we're thrilled to be partnering with Slipknot on a collection that showcases many of their trademark masks. We'll be making 9 masks in total.
間違えてますよね。5時だ。
Iconic members over the years. Well, all for killers, of course.
Yes.
So yeah, as we said, it's really early for both of these collections, but we'll share more news as we get to work on them. What's next?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to talk about our community. You, our community. I mean, since the beginning of Dead by Daylight, they are super important for us, and we were attached to put the spotlight on them on a unique store collection since a while, because like we have fans all around the world who are also really talented and creative artists.
For sure.
And even if it's not the first time we showcase their work in the store, organizing
the competitions,
the competition,
right? We did that before.
Exactly, to appear in game. This year, we would like to take it a step further and unifying our inspirations, passion, guidelines to build something new together.
Wow.
And the result of it is the artists from the folk collection. So I remember when we asked to our community to submit their work. And
we got
hundreds,
thousands applications.
Plenty of amazing applications. And we had to select some of them. So I remember we selected 4 winners from Poland, US, Spain, Canada. There is also a 5th contributor, as you know. We'll keep it for later. Featured on that collection. But we invited them to select their favorite character. It was important. And we're super lucky because we ended up with a split of 2 survivors.
これはなんだザリーナか。
So balance was perfect.
木村結衣か。
And then we met and we share with them all these things they need to know to work on our outfits, like the technical constraints, the lore, the
mix
and match, etc. Everything they needed before giving them the really precious maximum creative freedom to start their designs. And next we did this regular follow-up with them, and we achieved beautiful and functional designs, still respecting the artist's intentions, but also our needs. And yeah, it was an incredible collaboration. We have beautiful outfits because
I think like all these creativity, these ideas, their design, they brought to our game our fresh approach to it, new eyes. So it's yeah, I mean I'm super happy with the results. So thanks again for
100万人いるんだ。デッドバイデイライト。
That collection was great.
That's great to hear.
Yes.
And also we have that fifth artist that we invited ourselves to be a part of the Artists from the Fall collection.
Yes.
She's an industry veteran, as you know, known for her fantastic work on like Okami, Bayonetta, the Evil Within series, and of course Ghostfire Tokyo. We're incredibly excited to have her joining us today to share a little bit about her designs. Welcome, Ikumi Nakamura.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. Hi, I'm Ikumi Nakamura. Dead by Daylight のコミュニティの皆さん、こんにちは。よろしくお願いします。
Welcome, Ikumi-san.
Hi.
It's great having you here today. But before we get into the outfits you created for Dead by Daylight, we wanted to ask you first. Could you share with us what draws you to horror? And like, was it something that you liked growing up? And like, what's so unique to you about creating art in this genre?
なるほど。ホラーに惹かれる理由は、私もともとお父さんが小さい頃からホラー映画とかホラーのゲームをたくさん与えられて育てられたので、正直惹かれる理由はあんまりよくわからないんです。なぜかというと、自分の体のなんか細胞の中にホラーが染み込んでて、ホラーがあると絶対見るし、ホラーの作品があるとすごい気になっていつも見ちゃうし、でもやっぱりホラーってこう掘り下げていくと結局のところ人の死とか人の生きるとかが描かれていて、非常に多様性があるジャンルだなと思って惹かれるんだと思います。
And you're creating 3 outfits for this collection, each featuring a character that really resonates with our Japanese fans. Could you share with us what stood out the most about each of them to you?
一人はキラーの寒山鬼ですね。で彼は呪いの化身の鬼なので、私の住む国の日本の文化を取り入れた呪詛の時に着る服をアウトフィットとして寒山流にデザインさせていただきました。でリジョンのジュリーさんは
ジュリーさんって
狂気的な学生の気持ちを持っている女の子だと思っているので、それを表すためにそういう私たちの文化であるスクールガールの衣装をアウトフィットで彼女にあげてみました。でもう一人がユイで、彼女はすごくバイクを乗ってるたくましい女性だなって思って大好きなんですけれども、そんな彼女の私生活とか彼女が原宿とか行ったらどんな格好をするんだろうっていうのが見たくてそれでデザインをしてみました。
We'd also love to learn more about the whole process and your inspiration for the creation of the design.
キャンドルを頭につけてるんですけど、それはプレイヤーから見たら寒山が来た、隠れなきゃって
寒山って言ってるな。
目印にもなるし、ゲーム的な意味もつけてデザインにしてます。でもう一人のジョリーさんに関しては、もともと4人でリージョンじゃんでだから4人デザインしたらいいのかなと思って4人デザインしちゃったら1人でいいですって言って「あ、分かりました」って言ってジョリーさんをデザインさせていただいて、で今80年代とか70年代のポップカルチャーが非常に世界的にも流行しているので、そこの時に生きていた学生さんといえば、ヤンキーとスケバンだと思ってそのアウトフィットを彼らにあげました。はい。でユイに関しては、女の子の
スケバンデカだ。
だから彼女の本当私生活できるのをすごく見たいって思ったのがまず第一で、次に彼女のいつもはバイカーの衣装を着てるからわからないんですけど、実際彼女が可愛い服を着た時に
キーさん、今時スケバンわかる若者はいるのかな。
いや、一応わかるでしょ。
姿が見れるのがもっと見たかったので、比較的薄着にして、
バンとかはね、今でもありますから。
動きやすいようにして、スポーティーなスタイルを取り入れました。はい。
Well, Thanks again for joining us today, Kumi-san. The outfits look really amazing, and we can't wait for fans around the world to enjoy them. So the artists from the Fight Collection, featuring work by Mikumi,
我々は
will
ね
be available in the Dead by Daylight in-game store this
マッ
summer.
ポの手先
Oh, one more thing. I have a last announcement.
What?
And it will be a nice piece of nostalgia for any long-time fans of behavior. Because we have our team, our big team, and
み
an
なんの
important
ね
part of this
南
team
の陽子
worked on a game a long time ago named Naughty Bear.
Oh my god.
Naughty Bear, Naughty Bear. You know, this game featured a bear living in his happy community of bears, but he's going on a murderous rampage after they didn't invite him to a party. I mean, what an iconic character.
斎藤由貴のやつはもう覚えてないな
To bring it to the
やっぱり
game
南の陽子で
since
す
a
ね
while, and I'm super happy because now we are finally doing it.
Players have been asking for it.
鉄仮面
I know, and it's coming soon. This year is coming,
Wow.
and we will attach a cosmetic. It will be part of the Trapper cosmetics, and we will give him a royal treatment. It will be a lot of fun for players to see him.
うん風間三姉妹
Thank you for watching. I hope you really enjoyed all these announcements, all the upcoming
こういう演
outfits
出
coming this
この
year.
トークの演出っていうのがね日本には馴染まないですよ
Thank
ね
you again, Ikumi Nakamura, to be here with us.
まあリラッ
today.
クスしていいとは思うんですけ
It
ど
was a real pleasure to work with you. Stay tuned because Jean and Sarah are coming up next to talk about the in-game celebrations for the 7th anniversary. Thank you for watching. Bye.
All right, this time for real. Okay.
Cut! Matt, seriously, we've talked about this. What's so hard? We've been doing this for 5 years.
教育テレビみたいだね3チャンネルみたいなノリですよね
Hey there, I'm Sarah Robinson. I'm one of the associate art directors on Dead by Daylight. I help out with a number of areas of the game, but
らしいですね
events are definitely one of my favorites.
クラウンみたいに
I'm
何や
Gene Escalante, a senior game designer on Dead by Daylight, and I'm focused on the events. And I'm so glad that I get to be here with Sarah, as 7 years ago, when I first became a fan of DBD, she helped me get my very first tattoo, which was altruism, just 2 months after the game's release. Thank you.
No problem, happy. Okay, so Gene, there's lots to celebrate this year. And we're kicking things off early this year with a month of in-game activations leading up to the anniversary event. So tell us more about these activations.
Exactly. So each week we will be celebrating a different 2-year period of Dead by Daylight's history. So that'll include characters, maps, and mechanics that were introduced during those periods. So for example, week 1 will be featuring the Blood Hunts. Week 2 will then be doubling the Rift fragments for your Rift Pass. And in week 3, we will be inviting you, the players, to vote for a community choice event, which will occur during the Chapter 28 release. And once the anniversary event goes live, we'll be doing giveaways for previous anniversary cosmetics, including outfits and the Year 5 crowns.
Twisted Masquerade was a huge hit last year. And this year, we're bringing it back bigger and better than ever. But the host of the Twisted Masquerade has actually stepped out of the shadows this year and has lent their certain special kind of decorating skills to our in-game event. What can players expect to see?
Well, the host has introduced a lot of various artworks throughout various areas of the game, so you'll definitely want to check those out. And yeah, Father Campbell's Chapel has gone through a complete masquerade makeover.
隠密できなさそう
But this host seems to have brought along some mysterious masked figures. What are these like weird ghostly spirits? Who or what are they? If you want to find out, you're going to have to take a closer look.
Speaking of masked figures, we're bringing back Masquerade Mask this year. We have 12 new masks for 12 new characters. But getting your hands on them last year was a little tricky. For killers, you had to make it through your trial. And for survivors, you had to actually make it through the exit gate. So how have we improved things for this year?
Well, the invitations that came out last year, Sarah, they'll be back. But this time, invitations will be holding charges, and you'll use those charges to kind of mess with the opposition while you're in chase.
キラーは敵扱いで
If
す
you're a
ね。
survivor, what you'll be able to do is block the window
い
vaults
や
so the player
ー、
can't
それ
see
は
you,
どうなんだろ
and you'll also be able to spawn a pallet.
う。一昨年のね、雪だるまとかきつかったですからね。
It'll break right upon use. Killers, on the other hand, they'll be able to reduce the impact of a stun, remotely break a pallet or a breakable wall, and survivors better watch out about this one. They will be able to inflict the exposed status effect on you once they've reached a tier of bloodlust. But in order to get your cosmetic, you will need to make sure that you are holding onto at least one charge by the time that an exit opens, and that's either the exit gate or the hatch. So our players are going to have to decide what is ultimately more important to them, exhausting the charge to help them in a time of need, or getting that brand new mask.
It's such a tough choice. But I love the players having
な
a
るほ
mechanic
ど。
now where they can gain these masks without having to
う
escape the
ん
trial.
面白そうですね。
So
アイテム
beyond
得
the
たかった
masks,
ら
we have a number of
温存しろ
excellent
っていうことね。
unlockable cosmetics as part of the Twisted Masquerade event tome, including 2 brand new outfits. Last year, our guests of honor were Hattie and the Dredge as part of our Roots of Dread chapter. But this year, we're highlighting 2 fan favorites, Mia and the Hillbilly. We also have a number
ヒリビリそんな人気あんのかな。
chaotic charms for you to collect. It's worth noting, though, that all of last year's cosmetics, masks, outfits are going to be available in the store. So if you missed out on anything, now's your chance to go collect them.
Exactly, and keeping track of their collections is going to be much easier this year. So the event pop-up now is multi-tabbed. So you'll be able to find a collection tab and a store tab. In the collection tab, you'll find anything that can be earned through event gameplay or through the event tome. And in the store tab, you'll be able to find anything that we want to feature that is event related. And in there, you'll be able to find the Feng Min and the Ghost Face outfits, which are brand new Twisted Masquerade outfits. So be sure to check those out.
We've got one more thing coming as part of the anniversary event, don't we, Jean? This year, we're debuting a new kind of challenge condition, random perks. This is exactly what it sounds like. You roll the proverbial dice, and your loadout is equipped with those random perks. So this is a condition you might see on challenges that ask you to heal a survivor or down a survivor, for example. And last but not least, we're bringing back community challenges. So this is a great time for the whole community to get together, to work together and unlock additional rewards.
Exactly, Sarah. And we will be there, ready to support you guys through those community challenges. So make sure to stay tuned and don't forget that the road to anniversary content starts today.
And that is a wrap on the 7th anniversary show for Dead by Daylight and another year of content reveals. Thank you so much for joining us and spending your day with us here. It's been as exciting as I hoped it would be. I hope you've enjoyed it. And don't forget that the PTB for End transmission is live right now. So if you're on PC, you can jump over and start testing out things that were just revealed in the show today, which is pretty special. So thanks once again to our dev team back at the studio.
Wait.
Thanks. Oh, right.
I have one last thing, seriously,
Please.
before we finish. I know we had some great reveals today, but I have one last thing that I'm super thrilled to talk about. We are welcoming into the fog this year someone, I mean, it's a brand new survivor.
ミスター・ケイジ。あ、こんばんは。いらっしゃい。ぼんやりと見ております。ちょっと小声配信で恐縮ですが。うん、ニコラスだ。
He will be joining the fog this summer. We are so excited to have him with us.
There's nothing more powerful than imagination. It can shape the fabric of reality, transforming everything you may think you know.
July 5、7月か。誠さんも夜更かししてますね。ちゃんと見てますかこれ。
キーさん、75に詳細発表ってことか。
そうですね。4月5日。まあちょっと先ですけどね、楽しみですね。買うかどうかはわかんないけど。ニコラス・ケイジで溢れ返るんだろうな。
キーさん、ニコラスのパーク。
うん。なんでしょうね。頭がハゲるとかね。借金まみれになるとか。
キーさん、ハゲる。
うん。もう終わり？40万ブラポイント。40万。
キーさん、アラコード。
あ、これコード ?DBD7。まあね、神ゲーとかで出るだろうから後で入れますけど。トラッパーチャーム。トラッパー。
トラッペア7も最初の方に出てましたっけな。
ああ、出てますね。でもトラッパーもね、そのキラー感のバランス、なんとかしていただきたいですね。切に思う。やっぱりナースがまた強くなっちゃうんじゃないかな。ナースを弱体化するアナウンスは多分ないと思うんだよな。ナースブライト、ぶっ壊れキラー。フレディちゃんがどうなるかですね。もうこれで終わり？終わりかな？
キーさん、終わりですね。
あ、終わりか。寝ようかな。寝ますか。
キーさん、寝る前に数人抜っ殺してこよ。
あ、いってらっしゃい。僕は寝ます。
キーさん、おやすみなさい。
はい。はい、おやすみなさい。
ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。おしまい。
おやすみなさい。ではでは。